Alright, here we are back for a Week 17 predictions video. Final week of regular season. We're joined by Dean, the Packers user, one of the other commissioners, the founder of the league.
What's up?
Um, for a lot of people, this is going to be their last game on Madden 20 and with the league. So I encourage everyone, no matter the record or the situation, to play your game. Try to finish on a strong note with a W. For other people, the 12 playoff spots are locked, with the users at least. So this is about seeding or maybe just putting some final touches on your project to be able to get a strong playoff push in. We're going to go over basically everything today. The weekly and yearly awards. We're going to go over predictions. We're going to go over the playoff breakdown. We're going to go over all that good stuff, as well as some reminders about a few things. We'll start with remember to stream all your games. The road game is supposed to stream each game, the road team. But if you can't, make sure you ask the home team. If both of you have bad internet or it just doesn't work out or it's lag or something like that, just let one of the commissioners know. We're not going to make you play through shit Wi-Fi. Make sure you're adhering to the new rules. That includes the no custom playbooks on offense, as well as like the moving players that you're not going to use or on the defensive side of the ball. Just different things like that. It's probably a good idea for everyone to brush up on them before we head into the playoffs, just to make sure that you are tracking everything moving forward. Everyone has given me their 18-team list for the playoffs. For the teams for next Madden. The way that's going to work out exactly is about basically right after the Super Bowl, we should be able to announce the list. We're going to go tier by tier and randomize the people inside the tier, and then go down each person's list, and they'll get whoever the highest team on their list is. We have a pretty good idea who some people are going to get. We know for a fact who others are going to get, but we're not going to announce any of the lists until after the Super Bowl. So we encourage everyone to make sure that you're paying attention and online, concluding the Super Bowl. Leslie, the Browns user, is going to be doing live playoff commentary. So if anyone's interested in joining him for that, make sure you message him. I think it's a really cool idea. We've talked about it before for possibly the Super Bowl. Never got around to it. He wants to do it for every game in the playoffs. I guess it's a benefit you get from sitting at home in the postseason. But, he's going to be doing live commentary during the games. So make sure you get with him. That should be really interesting, really fun, instead of just sitting there watching the screen. Let's see here. All right, we'll go ahead and start the weekly awards. We'll start with the AFC side. So go ahead, Dean. It looks like you're starring
the
here.
the Browns, running back Robinson ran over 230 yards, averaging 10 yards a carry, 2 touchdowns. He had a catch. I'm not sure why they'll show me 1 catch for 2 yards. Good job by Leslie. Mainly on the reception. Great job, man. 1 catch for 2 yards. I'm impressed.
Really nice.
Defensive side of the ball, Chasen with the Patriots had 5 sacks in a game. Those kind of games deserve Player of the Week. That happens a couple times a year. That guy Stewart had 2 games with over 5 sacks, but
Yeah,
it's always a big game. So
one was
I'm sure he
against
won
me.
that game.
Yeah, one of them was against me. Fuck that guy. Speaking of me and you in the video, we are the stars of the NFC Players of the Week. Bryce Love led the way. I don't know how many weeks he's been back. How many is it now? 2? 1?
That was his first game back, and so that was a sim. Those numbers he put up, the 18 carries, 78 yards, two touchdowns in receiving. However, in the game that before desynced, he had 3 touchdowns in the first half. So I think he deserved that.
He was well on his way to more than what he
For
got.
sure. For sure.
Roquan Smith led the way for the Bears, the staple of that defense. 4 tackles, 2 picks, and game clinching pick 6 late in the fourth quarter to get the victory.
This is the 5th week that the Bears have had a Player of the Week, so that's a pretty good number. 5 out of 16 weeks.
I appreciate it. We do pride ourselves on our defense. Our offense is, a middle school offense, but we do our best on the other side of the ball. Starting with the yearly awards, I called this one, I think, week 4. I called that Jermichael Jackson was going to be leading and possibly winning the MVP, just because of the crazy numbers he's been putting up. He does lead the MVP race. Shea Wertz, the QB for the Bengals, right behind him. And Justin Fields, even though the Seahawks will not be making the playoffs, he's still, if he could put up some ridiculous numbers, might be able to make a push for the MVP. The Coach of the Year, the Falcons, Sean Payton, that's supposed to not be a main coach, but E-Fly, Coach of the Year. Cardinals here at 13-2, and then the Bengals. I think Cardinals would be my vote for the Coach of the Year. He's definitely improved far more than a lot of other people this season.
So I give credit to the Falcons. New coach came over from the Buffalo team. So far we can't see any. I don't see any reasons to doubt E-Fly with the Falcons. So He's done a good job as well this year.
Absolutely. Let's go to the NFC Offensive Player of the Year. Kylan Hill for the Cardinals had another strong day against the Rams defense. He leads the way, followed by Jonathan Taylor of the Bucks and Justin Fields of the Seahawks. Then the Defensive Player of the Year, Greg Hall Jr., middle linebacker for the Falcons, Roquan Smith, middle linebacker for the Bears, and A.J. Johnson, a defensive end for the Vikings. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Javier Toritola he was either the second or the sixth overall pick, and then the Defensive Player of the Year was the other one. The Redskins did very good drafting this year. But Brendan Claiborne, your running back, he's a running back, right? Is
Yeah, he
behind
filled in for
Toritola.
Bryce Love. He's really, honestly, I would say he's not super good, but for a rookie, he's actually put up some decent numbers in the games he's played. So
I
I
remember
see.
I remember a specific quote you telling me that he was going to run over my Bears defense whenever we played. So I better see some of him on the field when we get into it.
Yeah, I mean he actually got a development game a few weeks ago. I think he's either star or superstar now because when Bryce was out, I had to rely on him. He's more of a big play guy. He's not gonna have a good game with he's not gonna have 5 yards to carry or anything. But he's gonna have 1 or 2 games where he just breaks a monster play. So we'll give him some touches, but it's Bryce Love's backfield for the time being.
Ryan Jackson, rookie running back for the Lions, is third. Defensive Rookie of the Year, I have no way I can say that last name. Bear Cruz, I think. Kane Bear Cruz for the Cowboys. And then Derek Johnson, another rookie defensive player for the Redskins.
Shout out to the Cowboys, impressive win over the Saints to give us some playoff security.
Absolutely. It was whenever I posted the power rankings, he was in my most impressive 3 teams of the week. He came out of nowhere. I expected him to lose that game, and he really – I thought he was going to blow it when he jumped out to a 14-0 lead, but he held on for a good victory. We won't run over all the best, so on and so forth, until next week probably. So I'll let you kick off with the AFC.
AFC, okay, yeah, go ahead and do that. AFC yearly awards, we have the Offensive Player of the Year. It's going to Michael Jackson as well, the MVP, barring a catastrophe. If he sees a good game this week to keep his numbers up there, and hope that Wirtz for the Bengals doesn't do anything crazy. He's in second place. Defense, Brandon Waters. What position does Waters play for the Bengals?
Defensive end. He moved over from defensive tackle where he was playing for the 49ers, and he has thrived. He's got like 27 sacks or something like that.
Just a versatile, athletic player for the Bengals, and the Bengals knows how to use those kind of players, so good numbers for him, I'm sure. Offensive Rookie of the Year, also going to the Bengals, Jonathan Ward, barring anything. This is a young Gilmore in New England, not anything like, it looks like a different position entirely than the real Gilmore. He's an offensive lineman, perhaps, or maybe receiver. I'm not sure, but he looks like an offensive lineman in this picture. But I'm pretty sure he's got to be a receiver in order to have, or tight end maybe. But he's second place. So barring catastrophe, Jonathan Ward will get that Offensive Rookie of the Year for the Bengals. Defense, Aaron Paul has a lead there. Impressively, the Steelers' Kalen Creighton on a 3-12 team is second place in Defensive Rookie of the Year. So I'm sure he's having a great season. Unfortunately, these rookies. Yeah, it's nice to maybe get Rookie of the Year, help him for the playoffs for the Titans and the Bengals, but this is the last season. So my guy Claiborne had a good season, but this is it for him. He's got to put his talent together. All these rookies have to, this is all they got, so there's no future for them. Shai Wirtz, best QB, of course, probably going to win that one. Best running back, Jackson, and so on. I'm surprised the Bengals don't have a clean sweep. Usually they have a clean sweep with quarterback, running back, receiver, O-line, D-line. I'm seeing a lot of variety. We got the Chargers in there, the Jets in there, so looks like some competition has finally come for a great Bengals user, and he's maybe I think he's getting back to the bowl this year, but we'll talk about that in a bit. That's all for the awards in the AFC.
All right, let's get into these predictions. Very good breakdown there about the situation at hand. We're going to start off with the Tampa Bay Bucks versus the New Orleans Saints. This game potentially, before catastrophe struck for the Saints, had a lot of meaning for them. They needed a victory here. Now this is just two 9-6 teams fighting for second place in the division and bragging rights. I think it should be a relatively good game. The Bucks, he beat me whenever I played him. The Saints has played me very close before, so I know these users both very well. I'm gonna take the Buccaneers to win on the road here. I think if he can limit his turnovers and pass the ball well, that he's gonna win.
Yes, this game would have a whole different meaning if it wasn't for the infamous collapse of CJ the Great against the Packers a couple weeks ago. Because I would be potentially missing a playoff spot if I hadn't made that fourth quarter comeback, which CJ kind of gave me. I'm not gonna
Well,
I
way to pat
still made
yourself on
plays,
the
but
back.
I made the plays. But he had the ball. He could have chewed the clock out. He threw a pick six, and just let me get back into that game. So. If it wasn't for that, this game would be really important. Buccaneers Saints, one of them would have a playoff spot. Unfortunately, that's not the case. I'm pretty sure we've deduced they can't. Neither one of them can make the playoffs. But obviously, Madden could always mess up. So Bucs Saints, if you're listening, make sure you get that win and put yourself at 10-6, just in case there's a chance you can make it to the playoffs. I'm gonna take the Saints, the home team in this one, even though it should be a close game. Bucs is a great roster, and he's been playing a lot better this year than the past few seasons. Next up, we got the Cowboys and the Giants. It's going to be a force win for the Cowboys, who's going to finish the season off 6-10, I believe.
Yep, and the Giants 2-14.
Pretty much on par for Dwayne. He gets a few wins a year, but he just wasn't. This wasn't his Madden.
Schedule this year.
He did have a tough schedule. He had a great win last week. He puts together a couple of nice wins. He just needs the consistency, and then he'll be a great user next Madden.
Next, we have the Vikings and the Lions. Herc started off 4-0. He's lost 11 straight. Did get to play his game last week, so hopefully he gets this game played, can finish strong with a win here. Bunny, for a while there, looked like he may actually have an outside chance at the playoffs. He won like 5 out of 6 or something like that, including a win over a certain NFC North team. But he's kind of fallen back down. He's 5-10. This game is really just about bragging rights. He can head into Madden 21 saying he got a victory here. I know he wants that. I'm going to take the Lions to get the win, too. I think even if whether the game is played or not, I think that Bunny's going to make just enough plays to win. So I'm going to take the Lions.
Yep, show me the Bunny, man. Bunny's going to win this game. I have faith in Bunny. So that's if the game even gets played. If Herc's not available, then Bunny will get the force win. But I think Bunny gets this win, closes out his season and his Madden 20 career in a good fashion. Raiders at the Bengals. This game pretty much would be the upset of the century if the Raiders can pull this one out.
Oh wow, wouldn't it?
I think if the Bengals benched all of his starters, he'd still win by about 30. So I got the Bengals in this one.
Man, I can't imagine how bad the Bengals would beat you then. Didn't you lose to the Raiders this season?
That's factual information.
The Raiders are 4-10-1 heading into this game, playing the 14-1 Bengals. This one's going to be over by the end of the first quarter. He just doesn't have the offense or the defensive capabilities to keep up with Savon here. I think he's really going to push hard with Wirtz to try to get that MVP. That's what I'm expecting is force feeding him touchdowns, whether running or passing. Next we have the Titans and the Colts. Titans are 10-4-1. The Colts are 2-13. It's kind of surprising that 2-13 record. He's played a lot of people really tough. He hasn't made the playoffs any of this Madden, but especially this season, he had a lot of close games. And he's been really close to pulling some upsets before. So I think that he's just played in a tough division this Madden. I know he wants to end it strong with a victory. He's never beaten the Titans, so that would be a monumental accomplishment to start here. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Tennessee's playing worse than usual, and Indy's playing about okay, but I'll take the Titans to win this game. Should be over by halftime, maybe the start of the third.
Yeah, I can agree to that. I got the Titans in this one, and the Titans, despite having a down season for him, it's still the playoffs. He's still there, so he can make some noise depending on who he gets. We should maybe look at the matchups after this for what the playoffs should be.
Yep,
I got the Titans in that one. Ravens, the Texans. Obviously, I don't think Chap's actually back yet.
Yeah, I don't think
mistaken, but so Texans, if he wants to get the force win, but both teams are non-playoff teams, so it's not really a super relevant game. We're happy to have the Texans though. He's a good user to add to this league.
Great guy. He did a predictions video as well. We always want to look and see that type of thing.
And hopefully we get Chap back next Madden. Hopefully he's able to make his return. The Bills at the Jaguars. Jags fights every game. He's going to go out and he's going to try to upset the Bills. I don't see it happening. I'm taking the Bills to keep up his momentum and get ready for that first round bye. I think he won the division, right? Bills won the division.
Actually, it's not. If he was to lose to the Jags and the Patriots were to win against the Chiefs win. The Patriots would win the division because he's only a half game up on the Pats, half a game, and the Pats beat him both times. So
we make all these jokes about every Dolphins user we brought in left the league, couldn't hang. The Bills comes in, wins the toughest division. So props to him. He did what E-Fly couldn't do, and here he is atop the AFC East. One more win, that's all he needs. So I got the Bills in this one.
I'm going to take the Bills. I think that Jags, he kind of caught a few people off guard when he came in. He struggled the past few weeks, especially against the Texans a few weeks ago. He has to work on the defense heading into the next Madden for sure. His offense seems to be able to keep up genuinely well. This is the return of Spencer Ackerman. No, I take that back. Ackerman was traded to the Titans. So we'll see how Bryce Young will play against Buffalo. I think the Bills will win this game, probably by about 14 to 21 points.
Ackerman's been everywhere, dude. He's been on like 3 teams this year.
Jets and the Redskins. Now, both these teams are locked into the playoffs. Both of them are locked into their seat. So this is more about bragging rights, if you want to call it that. The Jets have been one of the most improved teams the second half of the season. The Redskins are 8-7, desperately looking to make sure they finish above 500. They have a first-round matchup with the Rams, so they have that to look forward to. This is a game they should definitely try to really get their momentum moving forward into the playoffs. I think the Jets will win, although I think this game will be closer than most people would expect it to be. Washington does a very good job of slowing the game down and not turning the ball over. So I will take the Jets to win this game very close, by about 7 to 10 points.
Nobody wants to face that Jets team in the playoffs just because the team that Savon built, years ago, Madden's ago, I should say, still a great team. So the Redskins are a good user too, but the Jets is going to win this game. And in the playoffs, the Jets, nobody wants to play him because he's a good user, but the team's so good that the user has to win the game. You can't just expect your team to go out there and win that game. Like his team can really keep him in games even if he's not playing his best. So the Jets are a sleeper to make some noise in the playoffs. Same with the Chargers. Chargers the Broncos. I played the Chargers this year. Wasn't my best game. I think I could have played better, but he beat me by about 13 points. So I think he's going to make some noise in the playoffs as well. Depending on who he plays, it's going to be a tight game. He's not going to get blown out. He's not going to just not show up. So Chargers or Broncos. Chargers should get that win as well.
The Chargers are currently in the 2 seed, but they could fall as low as the 3 seed with a loss here. I think that we all know how good of a user Jay Will is. He's kind of turned this Broncos team around the past few weeks. I hope he gets to play this game. If he does, I think it's going to be a very close game. I'll take the Chargers to win by 3 to 7 points, but look for this to be a good game to watch this next few days. But I'll take the Chargers as well. Next, we have the Rams versus the Seahawks. The Rams are 12-3. CJ is 9-6. Really just about bragging rights for him if he can get a W here. The Rams took a crushing loss to the Cardinals last week, his second loss to that team this season. So I know he definitely wants to get back with a win here and really just pound CJ into the ground. I think that I would look for the Rams to win this game big. I think he's going to want to show his hand, and he's going to come out and remind people how good he is. He's leading 14-0. Halfway through the second quarter at the moment with the football. So I think he's well on his way to win this game.
The live update that let's go with the live stream. Let's cut it over, Jason. Just kidding.
Yeah.
So Rams and Seahawks. Rams already ahead. I would have picked the Rams either way. He's going to close out the Seahawks Madden 20 campaign in an ugly fashion, unfortunately for CJ. Got the Rams. Rams big in that one. Steelers at Cardinals. If this game gets played, Cardinals is the 2 seed, right? Surprisingly, he defeated.
Yes, he has an outside chance in the 1 seed, actually.
He defeated the Rams 2 times in a season. He usually hasn't lost in like 2 seasons. So really good job by the Cardinals. Took care of his business. I remember when he was 5-0. I went in there, played him. My team was at the other end. We were like 0-2 or 1-2 or something. We upset him, which was it was a good win for us. But at the end of the day, the Cardinals had the better season, and now they're in position to get their way to the Super Bowl if they can pull a few more games together. So. Great season by the Cardinals.
I try not to think about the second half of my game versus the Cardinals and the utter collapse that we had en route to his victory. But he's going to have a lot more success in this game. He plays really good defense. Pittsburgh, one of the most anemic offenses in the league. I think he will hold the Cardinals decently well on the offense side of the ball, but I would look for Arizona to win this game probably 24-3, something along those lines. He might shut him out. I believe I was looking through something the other day. I don't have the exact numbers, but I believe that Pittsburgh has been shut out more than any other team this Madden moving forward.
Man,
so he definitely needs
to tanking for Madden 21, dude. That's it. Tanking for M21.
That's what it is. He did have a division win a few years ago. He won his division, so he does have that to put.
Do you recall offhand the Steelers What teams did he pick? Because I'm curious to see what. I guess we'll find out once those ratings come out.
he's going to be the Steelers next season. He chose to keep
Oh,
it.
he's keeping his team.
It's his favorite team. He
Nice.
said. So that to look forward to. Next, we have the Patriots and the Chiefs. The Chiefs are 5-9-1. It's kind of a rough season after making the playoffs last year. Drop is 12-2-1. So he has been kicking ass. He's been taking names. He's playing very, very good football this season, and he's going to dominate this game. I'll take New England a lot to not much.
Yeah, the Chiefs is pretty new to Madden. He got a kind of Cinderella season last year just to make the playoffs, and then in that playoff game, he played the Jets, I believe,
Yep.
and he played really well. It's just that he didn't know how to get the ball out fast enough to beat that blitz the Jets was running. Jets ran a good pressure on him, but Chiefs, if he plays when he plays next Madden, he's gonna become a good user. So hopefully this game with the Patriots, he has some fun. Maybe he can make an upset, but I got the Patriots at home to carry the momentum into the playoffs. Next game is a Eagles versus Dolphins. Eagles will defeat the Dolphins CPU easily in that one with the force win. It's 100% no fail. Packers at the Bears. This is probably the going to be most contentious. We're definitely not going to pick the same team in this. I'm taking the Packers on the road. Packers had a tough season, up and down season I would say, but they've beat some impressive teams. They beat the Bears already, and they beat the Cardinals earlier this year. And the Packers were just dismantling Bunny yesterday before the desync. So at the very least, you can say they're in a rhythm. And despite being on the road, I think it's going to be a close game for that reason, but I'll give the Packers the upper hand.
One thing I'll say is this Bears defense is not that Bunny defense. I look for this to be a very good game, a very close game throughout, as they usually are. I'm going to take the Bears to win. Home field, strong running game, strong defense. That's just how you play football to me. I think that the Bears are going to win a really close game here at home. Looking forward to our matchup again next week, as it's locked in. It just depends on who's going to be the home team. So
I
definitely
guess the
all
real
that.
question is with the guaranteed matchup next week, how long is either one of us going to rest? Because I definitely don't want Bryce Love hurt next week. I'm sure you don't want Cohen hurt for next week, so it's going to be a little bit of risk there. Going into the playoffs.
I plan to take a 21-0 lead and bench my starters.
There's always the plan, and then the plan
yeah.
doesn't work. What happens? But yeah,
it's a little foolhardy, but this one, the Browns and the Niners, is a very interesting one. These two have history together. The Niners beat the Browns in Week 17 a few seasons ago that kept Cleveland out of the postseason. So I know he definitely has a little bit of animosity. This is the first time they've played since that moment. So I know that Leslie wants to get a victory here, even though the game doesn't mean anything. I think that he's going to come out strong, and he's going to run the ball, and he's going to dominate, and he's going to put 100% effort into this game. I'm going to take the Browns to win this game big, 3 or 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, I get the Browns. Honestly, I feel like this game might end up not getting played just for the reason that the Niners seems a little bit checked out, and he's been busy too as well. So I don't know if it will get played, but if it does get played, the Browns have been running the ball very well. The 49ers is not known for his run defense, so I got the Browns putting up another 200 yards and getting that win. Panthers at the Falcons. So can this affect the seeding? Can the Falcons still be the 2 seed?
Absolutely can. If the Falcons were to lose and the Cardinals win over the Steelers, the Cardinals will be the 1 seed.
So if I'm the Cardinals, I'm going to be DMing the Panthers. Hey man, go ahead and beat the Falcons for me because that's debatable because I don't know if anybody really wants to. Depending on who wins the 3 seed versus the 6 seed game, I don't know who wants to face Jimmy in the second round. So that's kind of debatable. But normally you want to be the highest seed possible to guarantee 2 home games if you advance. So
that logic would hold for him, but I think that there's no guarantee who's going to win our game next week. So I've always heard if you try to win or lose games on purpose to try to work your way into play a certain person, it never seems to work out in your favor. Jimmy could end up winning next week and being the 5 seed, and then whichever one of us is the 6 seed could beat the 3 seed, and then he's thrown himself into a loop. You definitely
that strategy only works for guys like Bill Belichick. So
yeah, of course.
I don't think I mean, Jimmy's pretty good, but I'm not sure if he's Bill Belichick. So
no, I don't think so. One thing I will say is this Panthers user is a sneaky good user. He's got a real good offense. He's played a lot of people really close. He's 6-8-1. He's had a few games he could honestly have been in this playoff scenario very, very easily. He lost a few close games. Had some games he had the lead and blew them in the fourth and the quarter and things like that. I think that he's going to make Atlanta earn the win. I don't think that the Falcons are just going to walk in there and get the W. He only won 28-22 the last time they played. back in week 2. Only scoring in the second half was a field goal by Carolina, which means he adjusted very well. Only lost by 6 points despite turning the ball over 3 more times. So this is going to be a really interesting game. I'm definitely rooting for Carolina to get the W. I always love to see upsets, but I think it's going to be just a little too much for him. I pictured the Falcons winning by about the same score, maybe 28-21, 24-21, something like that.
The Falcons got that deep passing play action game going pretty well. I faced that firsthand, so we'll see how that goes. Now, Jason, I'm not sure what you had planned to do next, but if you wanted to head over to the standings, there's a stat I pulled up.
Okay.
If you go to home wins and sort by who has the most home wins, it's interesting to see which teams have been doing really well at home. A lot of them are teams with a bye, so it's going to make these playoff games pretty tough. If you get if you get over to Cincinnati or to Los Angeles, or even to Atlanta, Arizona, all of those teams have not lost a home game. So, wildcard teams, want to go in there and make the upset, they're going to have their work cut out for them. And also notable to me is the Packers are 8-0 as well at home, but that 2-5 road record just is not getting it done. I have a theory on that. I mean, so I've had slight connection issues this season. I feel like whenever you're the home team, you get like a slight boost in the way your team blocks and how that's all handled with the internal Madden game, which makes sense because a home team in real life always plays better. Like I'm a Packers fan in real life, and if you watch Aaron Rodgers and the Packers play at home, he's clean pocket, plenty of time to throw, always wins. At least if they lose, it's because the other team is better. On the road, he's getting sacked in like 2-3 seconds, missed blocks, etc. It is harder to play on the road. So
I think it's very interesting.
Packers,
I'm tempted to lose this week just to break that 8-0 record you got there.
I don't think you want to come to Green Bay, man. I think if I'm the Bears, I want to win this week, keep it home in Chicago, and not face the Packers somewhere they're 8-0. But that's the most interesting stat that I've seen. The Packers are the only team that doesn't have a first round bye who's undefeated at home. And then I look at the points against and things too. Bengals, if you sort by points against, 169 points against, the toughest defense in the league. Usually that's the Rams. So the Bengals, in terms on paper, has surpassed the Rams this year in points for and points against. He's still my favorite, even though Jimmy did beat the Bengals week 1. I'm trying to see any other good takeaways here. Obviously, defense wins championships. When you sort by points, you can see the Bengals, Rams, Jets, Bears, Titans, Falcons, Chargers, like all the playoff teams. So anybody, in real life, defense wins championships. But obviously in Madden, it's the same concept. So anybody that's not in the playoffs, that wants to get their next Madden, make sure you're working on that defense and finding a way to keep points off the board.
Yep, absolutely. And you never know, man. The Raiders could put up 48 points on the Bengals this week. So,
And the Raiders, where's he rank in terms of points? He's 297 points for, 426 against. So that would be the upset of
any given Sunday. Any given Sunday.
Do you have anything else to add, Jason, to this broadcast?
I do, actually. We're going to go through this playoff breakdown. I'm going to give everyone a good understanding of what the playoff bracket is right now. I am excited. Next Madden, there's going to be an official bracket format where you can click into whenever you get close to the postseason. You'll be able to actually see it in front of you, which is going to be interesting and definitely a lot more insightful. Currently, on the AFC side of the ball, the Bengals are win or lose. They are locked into the 1 seed because even if they lost and the Bills and Chargers both won, they would have the tiebreaker over them because the Bengals' only loss is in the NFC. So you would have the conference record. The Chargers, they win and they clinch the 2 seed. If they lose and the Bills win, then they'll clinch the 3 seed. If they lose and the Bills lose and the Patriots win, they'll clinch the 3 seed. If they lose and the Bills lose and the Patriots also lose, they would clinch the 2 seed. A little confusing there, but the Bills and Pats both still have chances to get the 2 seed. The Bills, they win and the Chargers lose, they get the 2 seed. That's as simple as it is for them. If they win and the Chargers win, they'll get the 3. If they lose and the Patriots win, they would get the 5 seed. So Quick would be knocked all the way down to the 5th seed, and you'd be playing Twan in the first round. If all 3 of them lose, he would clinch the 2 seed. For the Titans, they win or lose, they are locked into the 4 seed. They will be playing whoever drop or Bills, whoever doesn't win that division. The Patriots, if they win and the Bills and Chargers both lose, they would clinch the 2 seed. So he still has an outside chance there. I always say that tie he had versus Twan earlier this season cost him because he would be the 2 right now. He would be 13-2 and have the tiebreaker. So that definitely hurts. You got to play all the way to the final whistle. Um, he could get the 3 seed if the Chargers win and the Bills lose. He would win the division that way. Uh, Losing at all would lock him into the 5 seed. And the Jets, win or lose, are locked into the 6 seed. So Jets will be playing one of those 3. Twan will be playing one of those 3. No matchups actually set for the AFC yet. Now when we move to the NFC side of the ball, we've already got 2 matchups set. The wildcard round's already set. The Falcons, they win and they clinch the 1 seed. If they lose and the Cardinals also lose, they would clinch the 1 seed. If they lose and the Cardinals win, they would get the 2 seed. Because the Cardinals will have the tiebreaker over them if they finish the same record, just because of conference record and things like that. The Rams are locked into the 5 seed. The Bears and Packers have an interesting scenario. Like we said, we play in back-to-back weeks. The winner of our game is going to get the 3, the other gets the 6, and then we'll play again next week. The Redskins are locked into the 4 seed. They will be playing the Rams in the first round. So first round matchups would be Bears and Packers and Rams versus Redskins. And the Skins have given Jimmy some trouble in the past before, so that could be a really interesting game.
We got any of those conspiracy guys out there? You know how like people say, "Oh, it's typical NFL marketing." They went Bears Packers rivalry 3 times in a season. They set that up. This was rigged the whole way, guys. It's obvious.
I believe it.
Bears Packers 3 times is the charm. So Packers is going to win both of those. All 3 of those actually. That's my bold prediction on that topic.
I like it. Definitely looking forward to this matchup. We're about to kick off here in just a second. I know some people have already played their games. Definitely appreciate you helping out with the predictions video. Anybody who wants to help in the playoffs, whether you're a playoff team or not, make sure you say something to me. We'll absolutely make that happen. I want to get as many voices in as we can, especially next Madden when we get into it. Everybody
and get in touch with Leslie, because Leslie is interested in live streaming a game with commentary. So, especially from him not being in the playoffs, I'm sure he's gonna be watching all the games. So hopefully he gets somebody to join him on that. That would be very fun to watch. Because if you when I'm watching a stream, sometimes I'm gonna check on the score, watch a few plays, and then do something else. But if you just tune in, Leslie can say, "Hey, anybody just tuning in? This is what happened in the game so far," and you can kind of get a feel for the game. And it would be really a good asset to have that. We've talked about it for a few seasons. I know that Leslie has interest in getting that done, I should say. So anybody interested in helping him with a play-by-play, very first play-by-play, I should say, of a playoff game, that we'd love to see that.
Well, Dean, I'm gonna do you a solid. I'm gonna knock you out in the first round and let you go help Leslie. All right?
It sounds good. I will serve my punishment if that's the case.
All right, everybody, take it easy. Have a good day. Get your games in.